What's up, guys? It's your boy Jay. Welcome to Jay's World. So let's talk. You know how we do it. Oh, you know how we do it. So let's get into it. And welcome to another edition of J Topics. Miss Holla. Y'all, Miss Holla is gone. If you are not familiar with Miss Holla, let me explain to you exactly who she is. She became a internet sensation, literally. I don't know, are you guys familiar with Miss Holla? If you are not, let me tell you, you guys are in such a treat. You've got to check out her Facebook page and check out her Instagram, okay? Her granddaughter, Michelle, announced on Saturday of last week that Miss Holla indeed had passed away at the age of 97. She did pass away peacefully in her sleep, with her family right there with her. I know prior to Miss Holla's death, a lot of people were already trying to put her in the ground and coming up with these fake tributes saying that she had died and rest in peace, Miss Holla. Miss Holla had not died. And her granddaughter, Michelle, said she will let everyone know officially if and when Miss Holla passed away. And she, in fact, did that. It wasn't a long live, but it was just long enough to let people and fans literally around this country and around the world know that Miss Holla had indeed passed away. You know what, guys? The reason why I call this particular video a celebration, because I really do feel it is just that. This is not a sad video, not a sad video at all. This is actually a celebration of this wonderful woman's life. Miss Holla, Helen Davis, she taught in District 189 as a teacher for over 42 years. That's right, she was an actual educator. She gave to her community, she volunteered to her community. She was really there for a lot of young people. Now, I unfortunately never had the chance to actually meet Miss Holla, but I do know quite a few people that were actually taught by Miss Holla and actually knew Miss Holla. And y'all, when I tell you, everything you saw about Miss Holla in those videos was really her. Like, seriously. If keeping it real were an actual picture, Miss Holla would take up every page in that book. I mean, that tongue was fiery. Let me tell you something. If you had her feelings, or if you were a little tender, she was definitely not the person you wanted to ask advice, because Miss Holla would just give it to you real. She would give it to you raw. She would give it to you straight. Now, granted, she would come from a place of love, but she would give it to you straight with no chaser. And I think that's what I really loved about Miss Holla. And that was probably my biggest takeaway about Miss Holla. Because if we're just going to deep dive this thing a little bit, yes, Miss Holla was definitely funny. She definitely had a mouth on her. She would definitely cuss you out. She would definitely cuss her family members out. But with all of the entertainment that Miss Holla gave us, she was actually teaching us. I think the things that I learned from Miss Holla, I learned the fact that she was very fearless. She was very upfront when it came to death. She was in a, I don't think it was, she wasn't in a hospice facility, but she was definitely under hospice care. And I know, people, while she was on the internet would always say, oh, Miss Holla, you gonna make it and this, that, and the third. She had cancer and she was very upfront. And she would always tell people, you know what? I don't know how much longer I have to live, but I'm gonna live my life to the fullest. I'm very grateful and very thankful. She literally, I believe in just about every live that she did, she always told people how grateful and thankful she was to be here. And that just made me feel so good, knowing that she was at peace with her situation. And she literally faced her situation head on and fearless. She really did. I love the fact that Miss Holla, you know, she always, you know, told stories. You know, she talked about her first husband, some high yellow dude, and how much she loved him, and she would do anything for him. And she loved that man, you know. But unfortunately, she also spoke about spousal abuse. You know, he was very abusive to her as well, you know. Yeah, he would put hands on her. She spoke about that. She spoke about her father, how much she loved her father, and how much she idolized and respected her dad, and how great of an influence he had on her life. She loved all of her family, because all of those people were in that room with Miss Holla. I know a lot of times they were never really on camera, except for her granddaughter, who would always sit to the side of the bed. I forget that young lady's name, but her granddaughter would always be in the room. Her son would be somewhere in that room. I think she had like a couple of nieces as well. But probably my most favorite person in that room would be Michelle. And Michelle, if you happen to stumble across this video, please know I am just as big a fan of you as well as Miss Holla. You know, what I loved about Miss Holla and Michelle, I just loved their dynamic with each other. You know, I feel that Michelle just really knew how to push Miss Holla's buttons in the right way to get those highly entertaining moments out of her. Don't get me wrong, I loved her interactions with everybody else in the room, but it was just something about that dynamic between Michelle and Miss Holla, which was just hilarious. I remember one of the videos when Michelle gave Miss Holla, you know, those protein drinks that the doctor told Miss Holla that she had to have. And Miss Holla just looked at those drinks. First of all, she picked the drinks up and threw them off the bed and cussed Michelle out and told her, "Now look here, Michelle, you're going to be in danger." She said, "because I'm going to kick your ass." You know, that was just Miss Holla. Now, she said some other stuff, but I cannot repeat everything that Miss Holla said, because I would lose my YouTube channel. That's how lethal Miss Holla's tongue was. But she was so entertaining and so funny and so loving. She was so many things, all wrapped in one at the same time. And I know a lot of her fans, like literally all around the country and even some parts of the world, would call her grandma, because she just reminded them of just this feisty grandmother, you know, that loved you but would cuss you out at the same time. You know, she was so much to so many people. I enjoyed Miss Holla in those videos. I remember just, you know, riding home from work, just listening to Miss Holla, you know, tell stories and cuss out her family members. And of course, you know, sometimes Michelle would get on her nerves so bad, she'd tell Michelle to get out of the room, and she called her son. Just funny and just wonderful, and just, she's just going to be missed. Miss Holla lived to be 97 years old. 97 years old. That in itself is something to celebrate. So that's why I said in the beginning of this video, this was not going to be a sad video, because Miss Holla has left us so many memories. So many memories. I mean, she will literally live on in perpetuity. Now, will she be here in the physical? No, she won't. And we are sad about that. But y'all, think about all of the memories that this woman has left on video. On TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. She's going to live on forever. She's going to live on forever. A lot of celebrities love Miss Holla too. Singer Regina Belle. Gosh, who else? Oh man, I can't think. Just a lot of celebrities just love Miss Holla. Everybody loved Miss Holla. So I just want to say to the family of Miss Holla, Helen Davis, my condolences to you. I'm praying for you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for sharing that wonderful gem with us. I personally thank you. You know, you didn't have to do it. I mean, Miss Holla was just a gem. You could have easily just kept her to yourselves and just enjoyed her, but you chose to share her with us. So for that, we will be forever grateful as her fans, and thank you. And Michelle, thank you so much. Thank you to that entire family. And to Miss Holla, I would also like to thank you. Thank you for sharing yourself with us. Thank you for your many years of service as an educator in the school district of 189 in East St. Louis, Illinois. Thank you for volunteering and giving so much to your community. Thank you for giving us so much joy, so much laughter, so much advice, so much of everything. Thank you, Miss Holla. I know you up in heaven right now, you done probably cussed out 4 or 5 angels because they did not have your frappe and your lottery tickets. And that's another thing, y'all. Miss Holla loved her frappe drinks from McDonald's, and she loved her lotto tickets. Yeah, Miss Holla, you will be sorely missed, but also loved, and we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. God bless you.